You wake up with swollen eyes, a pounding headache, and a heavy chest. But before you even process the pain from crying all night, you feel a warm, wet nose pressed against your hand and a pair of eyes staring deeply into yours. Does your dog actually know what you just went through, or are they just hungry for breakfast? Science says they know exactly what happened, and what they do next is going to completely change how you look at your best friend forever. Today we are breaking down the exact physiological and psychological shifts happening inside your dog's brain when they realize you are completely broken. It all starts with their nose. Dogs possess up to 300 million olfactory receptors compared to our measly 6 million. When you cry, your body chemistry physically changes. Your tears carry specific chemosignals, and your sweat glands release massive spikes of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. To your dog, you literally smell like sadness. They do not just see your tears falling, they inhale the chemical footprint of your grief. This sudden change in your scent triggers an immediate alarm bell in their brain. They know something is deeply wrong before you even make a sound. But smelling your pain is just the beginning of their process. What they decide to do with that information is where things get truly incredible. Watch their physical reactions carefully. Dogs have evolved over 30,000 years, specifically alongside humans, to read our subtle facial, micro-expressions, and vocal tones. When you are sobbing, your breathing is completely erratic and your posture is slumped over. Your dog processes this visual and auditory data through a phenomenon called emotional contagion. This is a primitive psychological mechanism where they literally catch your emotions. It is the same reason a baby cries when they hear another baby crying. If you are deeply anxious, they become anxious. If you are completely heartbroken, their heart rate actually alters to sync up with yours. They feel the physical weight of your sadness inside their own chest. But here is where it gets dangerous for them. Think about the absolute lowest moment you have had recently. The last time you broke down crying in front of your dog, what exactly did they do? Did they frantically bring you a random chew toy? Did they force their head stubbornly under your hand so you had to pet them? Or did they just sit silently and lean their entire body weight against your leg? This is not an accident. This is a natural form of deep pressure therapy. By applying their physical weight to your body, they are stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system to physically force your heart rate to slow down. You might have thought they were just being needy or asking for attention, but you would be wrong. They were actively administering canine psychological first aid. When your dog leans against you during a panic attack or insists on licking away your tears, they are trying to ground you back to reality. Studies show that when a dog successfully comforts a crying human, their own oxytocin levels spike. Oxytocin is the universal love hormone. Their brain is chemically rewarding them for trying to heal your emotional wounds. This next part is what nobody wants to admit about the burden we place on our pets. They willingly take on our trauma. Because dogs are so incredibly empathetic, they do not just bounce back immediately after you stop crying. A dog that constantly absorbs their owner's severe anxiety and depressive episodes can actually develop empathetic stress. Their own baseline cortisol levels will stay elevated long after your tears have dried. They are literally willing to sacrifice their own peace of mind and physiological health just to pull you out of the dark place you fell into. They become a sponge for your worst days. They do not judge you for your tears. They do not care why you are crying or how long it takes you to recover. They only care about bringing you back to safety. Your dog is not just an animal living in your house. They are a biological empathy machine hardwired by thousands of years of evolution to protect your heart at all costs. So the next time you wake up after a long, terrible night of tears and see them staring at you with those deep, soulful, worried eyes, do not just pet them. Give them the most massive hug you can muster and thank them. They spent the entire night carrying your pain so you would not have to do it alone.